Ambassador Irchad Razaaly concludes his duty tour in Ghana, his tenure marks a period of strengthened relations between the European Union and Ghana. Now, under his leadership, EU-Ghana cooperation has deepened across key areas, including trade, investments, governance, peace and security, climate action, and also youth empowerment. His mission has focused on fostering partnerships that support Ghana's sustainable development while reinforcing the EU's commitment to a strong and enduring friendship with Ghana. So, on today's episode of the only show that brings you happenings in the world of diplomacy and international relations, my guest is the EU head to Ghana. The outgoing, yes, because he's leaving already. He's been here for some time, and we are super excited. Just as we did when he arrived, we were very privileged to have sat with him to discuss his vision, what he wanted to achieve. We did projections. Now here we are, 4 years is gone already. Can you imagine how fast time moves? Yes, so we'll be talking to His Excellency Irchad Razaaly right after this break. Welcome back. The show is Diplomatic Affairs. My name is Harriet Nartey. As you know already, this is where we bring you everything around diplomacy and international relations. Now, we go on the ground and we speak to the people who make the news when it comes to issues pertaining to this particular field. Today on the show, as I mentioned in my intro, I will be talking to the head of the EU delegation here in Ghana, and he is in the person of His Excellency Irchad Razaaly. He's been in the country for 4 good years. Listen, his presence has been felt by the entire country. He's a man who walks into any room, every room with everybody in there, and you will feel his presence. I'm talking about at the personal level and even at the professional level. When we come to open door policy, this is his leadership style. We have been beneficiaries of his leadership style in that particular area. So he's seated here. I don't want to say much, but this conversation is going to be very unfiltered. Very unfiltered. Hello, Excellency.
How are you doing?
I am super to have you here as you move out of our territory.
Are you happy?
No. I've been crying all night. Are you? Thank you so much for honoring our invitation. I know it's been very busy for you. You are moving things. You are moving, trying to get yourself. Are you in transit, if I can say so?
Almost, but as you mentioned, the mission is finished until the very last second. As we speak, we are still busy with a specific file and have a lot of in-house issues as well to address, because I want to leave a clean slate, for my successor. This is a duty. And in the diplomatic life, you get over a file from someone, you try to make the best and the most of it, and you try to lead it as clean as possible for the successor. And life goes on like that. So
that's what you've been up to. Well, thank you once again for your time. Now, let's talk about some 4 years ago when you arrived in our beautiful country.
time flies.
Time flies so quickly. Some 4 years ago, do you really remember just when you came, you assumed your role as the head of the EU delegation in Ghana? Do you?
Yeah, I remember every second when I arrived at the airport, when we first met, when I presented my true copy to the then Minister of Foreign Affairs, to the first lunch we had together, not far from this office.
Right.
Till today. Not forgetting anything. Yeah.
That's very nice to know. I also remember my first encounter with you just when you arrived in this country. We were privileged to have had the opportunity to meet you. And when I say we, I mean Diplomatic Affairs. I had the opportunity to meet you in person just when you arrived. You were eager to learn everything there is to know when it comes to media operations, understanding Ghana's media, how the media operates, and what are the things that you should focus on, and also building a relationship with the media. I remember so well when we talked about the various media houses, how we can assist when it comes to EU-Ghana relations, telling the story as we journey together. It's been a beautiful journey, if you ask me. It's been ups and downs, but that's what life is about, right? And it's been very great. There are so many initiatives. I don't think you were even able to tick all the boxes. Were you?
I tried to, but I thank you for your help to understand the media landscape. As you speak, there are many faces of familiar people to whom I have great respect. For us African, we respect the elders. I had great encounters with Professor Kai, great encounters and discussions with Madame Elisabeth Orene, with Madame Mary Mensah, still in the gig. So, these are just faces and names which are popping up, and it's this type of job, this line of work is a human chain. So you pass things from one to the other. And I've been lucky enough to benefit from a lot of benevolence, a lot of generosity, a lot of energy from everyone, from every corner. And this has nurtured me, and I'm pretty sure this has helped me in my mission, which is to bring the relations between the European Union and Ghana, to the best possible state. So there are no small contributions in that regard.
That is the essence of partnership. I want us to talk about, before we talk about the people, Ghanaian people, I want us to talk about how would you describe Ghana's international community?
Ghana and Accra as a place in particular, because this is the capital city, hosts a very high number of diplomatic missions. This is a very, as we say, a vibrant place. This is a country which boasts from its safety, its stability, its openness, hospitality. And I have to say I was not the best to stay in the diplomatic domain. I was equally, if not even more interested in reaching out to the breadth and depth of the country, in Accra, outside Accra, with the people to understand better the country, its culture, the many voices, the many faces, the aspiration, the expectations. So yes, it's a very rich capital when it comes to the diplomatic sphere, but this is an even richer country when it comes to the normal people out of the diplomatic sphere.
So then that was going to be my next question as to how you experience with the Ghanaian people.
This is an amazing country. It's so easy to reach out to any part of the country, I would say physically, and it's so easy to establish contact with Ghanaians from all over the places, all over the background. I have to confess that just today, which is my last day of this, I could not leave. I could not close this office and could not leave this country, even though it's very packed. But I could not do that without allocating time to some of the people who are really dear to my heart. And from different backgrounds, from Bukom, from I'm saying, I'm mentioning Bukom.
Right, and we'll be coming to that.
So so this was, and I'm sure it will be one of the key elements that will still be nurturing, is the access, reaching out, interacting with everyone possible in any given country. And Ghana has been absolutely amazing in that regard.
Were you able to visit all 16 regions?
All 16, I'm not sure. possibly, but I don't want to be presumptuous. It's possible, but I can say I've been to Tamale at least 10 times.
Yes.
Times. And my last trip was in Zini.
Oh, that's where my mother comes from.
So not in Wally, but Zini.
Yeah, Zini, right.
And I would like to say hi to the Zini Kuro, a brother of mine.
Okay.
But I can say I visited a good majority of the regions of this country. And I know you are linked to Volta region.
Yes, as well, yes.
And I spend a lot of time there, which is an amazing region for its landscape.
Right. All the regions are unique. Exactly.
Each regions are unique.
Yeah, sure. Now, I don't want us to focus too much on your, I'm not sure if the word is your achievements or accomplishments over the last 4 years, because there's so much to talk about when it comes to initiatives between the two, Ghana and then the European Union. So a few that I would want us to run through, and then you can just tell us. I want to know which of these is actually like you feel that you have really achieved so much when it comes to the various initiatives that happened under your leadership. I know you are big on education, so Erasmus Plus, we cannot, just even the youth sounding board also. Youth, if we are going to talk about youth, we are going to spend all day to talk about the youth, because I know how special the youth of this country, how special they are when it comes to you, and you ensure that all the initiatives that are couched are actually revolved around the youth. So youth empowerment, let's begin with youth empowerment.
So youth empowerment can have many dimensions, and I will not unpack the whole thing, but the main driving rationale is not only the youth will shape the future of this country, they are already shaping the present of this country, and beyond the inclusion, beyond the fact that youth should be the first beneficiary, what I really believe in is we should use the lenses of the youth to understand from their point of view what type of future they want for the country, and how we can step in as a partner. How do they see us? How can we perform and better and improve the type of intervention that we are conducting? And this is the reason why, for example, 2 days ago, we have inaugurated the first ever youth sounding board for the European Union in Ghana. Because once again, I am not in the business only of identifying the talents. I am in the business of understanding their views and to listening to their voices in order to have a better impact. So this is as simple as that. And then it translates into, many initiatives. And I'm very happy that we are increasing our investment in the human capital of this country. In the youth, we believe in the ability to transform the country, the communities. This is the reason why any given year between the Erasmus Plus program, which is a scholarship program, as you know, plus the very important and sizable initiative of the member states of the European Union, we are serving no less than 1,000 scholarships a year, which is huge. 1,000 scholarships a year.
That's very big.
So it's these are life transforming experiences and opportunities. And this is not the only things that we are doing for you, but these are the reason why we invest so much in the youth of the country.
Now, you talked about Erasmus, which we've already talked about as well. And the thing about EU initiatives, they are very practical. Now, my question is, I'm curious, how do you identify the needs of the people? Because this is partnership. So you come in, you are looking at how can we help elevate, empower, add value to these people? And that has always been your modus operandi. How do you even do that? Like, you come right on time trying to solve a problem. That's how practical your policies are.
Thank you for very, very, I would say, fundamental questions. This is something which keeps a lot of people awake to understand better precisely how to address that. You mentioned the keyword, which is partnership. So the European Union or myself, we don't come out of nowhere with the idea, let's do this, A, B, C, D.
You are not impulsive.
Because we have done that elsewhere in Kenya or in Indonesia, and it worked. First, and this is a very difficult exercise because you have to plan ahead, but you have to be relevant, context-wise and people-wise, because these are people-centered initiatives. So we have permanent consultation with the national authorities, the administration, because we have to fit in national strategies for very practical reasons. Very practical and simple reasons, because the government interacts with a broad range of partners internationally, and they know, well, at least they have a better indication of who should be doing what, or what is easy to expect better impact from who. So we are discussing already about education or health with the World Bank, let's say. So this is covered. We should focus together with the European Union on ABCD and how can we do that. So this is one part of the consultation. Make sure that we fit into what we call national strategies. This is out of respect to the country, but this is out of respect to our principle of effectiveness. Okay? Element number one. Element number two, we have a recurring process of consultation with the civil society because their views are complementing. Sometimes it's contradicting, or at least it's adding to your understanding of the terrain. Or maybe if you are feeling gaps in your knowledge, say, okay, yes, agriculture is very fine.
Right.
But don't forget this segment of agriculture because this has been overlooked for a number of years for many reasons. Okay? Don't forget to support women organizations, support the cooperative industry better because we from Savannah, we know that this is the best way to create jobs and to integrate these women, our aunties, mamas, etc., into a formal economy. So you add up your knowledge in order to, fine-tune your programs. And then you have as well direct interaction with the local communities. So I've been to Bole, I've been to Navrongo, I've been Volta region. I'm not saying everywhere,
right.
Everyone has been everywhere, in order to have direct voices, direct impressions. Where do you think we can make an impact with a huge program, but in the end, this huge program is not disincarnated. It has to serve the lady, the women, the youth, the baby, the chief, that I've met there because they are telling me about their challenges and these challenges are aligned with the national strategy. And then you have this equation to put together something which works for everyone. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying we do it perfectly. Sometimes we do it in a very appropriate manner. Sometimes it's very difficult to put all the
mechanisms together
and to cover all the corners, but this is what we are aiming. And I feel very much about the fact that in the end, those interventions have to serve people-centered, because in the end, this is what we invest in. The future of the country, it's people. It's economy, but behind the economy, it's people.
Behind the economy is people. I love the idea of including everybody, the bringing everybody on board and not leaving anybody behind approach to ensuring that you are actually being practical with the needs of the people. And when you talk about your connection with the locals, getting to meet them and talking about it, you mentioned how you frequented the North, right? Listen, the North, I saw the share enterprise. That's a shea butter. Agriculture. So that comes under agriculture. You talked about the auntie. You talked about the community leaders. You talked about bringing everybody on board, and you also take into consideration and recognition the fact that these are people who will contribute to the economy, the GDP of our economy. The backbone is the people. You cannot do it without including everybody, inclusivity, driving everybody along. Has there ever been any time where you felt like there is a serious gap here and you personally would have wished to close that gap if you had the authority to do so, yet the system and strategy of the EU makes it impossible? You are faced with any kind of challenge. What would that thing be?
It's a very complex question, but one thing that I hope we have made a contribution is precisely to connect or put together the elements for job creation in rural area. I am not obsessed with the north of the country, okay, but we invest a lot in that region, in those regions. For a very objective region, it's the development gap between the north and the rest of the country. And this country, like many African countries, or many even European countries, is struggling with unemployment or creating jobs for 400,000 youth every year into the labor market. So if the European Union can make a contribution to support job creation, this is where we step in. And in Ghana, given its profile, a huge potential for job creation. I'm not saying it's the only one, but a huge potential is agriculture, agro-processing, transformation, localization. And I want to insist once more, the European Union is all about supporting localization of the added value, local transformation. We believe in the ability of this economy to transform, and we are contributing to it, and there are national policies to it, which is the beauty, to support agro-processing. This can be taken to new levels because the European market is ready, eager, and willing to welcome those goods. And I would like to insist on those days that the European market is duty-free, so there is no tariff. Yes, we have a tariff, it's 0%. Our tariff is 0%. There is no tariff and there is no quota, so there is no limitation.
Right.
So you can export as much as you want of tomatoes in the European market, but before that you have to produce the tomatoes.
Absolutely.
And this is where we are supporting the agriculture. I'm just using that example, but this is true for maize, wheat, whatever, fruits. We are very big in supporting fruit transformation, putting it in can to can fruit and to export it all over the world, including in the European market. So these are not words, these are things.
Excellency, let's talk about the perception of the people. I would also want to use this opportunity to talk about propaganda when it comes to EU-Ghana relations, and I would want us to use this platform to also educate minds as well. And how do you think we can, when I say we, I'm talking about EU-Ghana, how do we change the narrative out there about external parties working Ghana and its development partners, where some people, you find some articles actually talking about how some external forces are using their might and they are, exploiting countries and they are operating at their advantage and leaving those countries poor and all of that.
I think the perception is right. We are working here for shared interest.
Right.
Our interests and Ghana interests are matching. Our shared interest is this country is in strong standing, strong footing, strong institutions. Our shared interest is Ghana's economy grows. Okay? Ghana's economy grows, it's in our shared interest. Our shared interest is jobs are flourishing in Ghana. To support the economy, to support the bilateral trade, to ensure as well that there is a future in this country for the 400,000 youth every year. So we are not against the idea that we are working for a certain interest, but the beauty of it, and maybe the specificity of the European Union, is those interests are aligned with the national interest. It's not one or the other. When we are supporting the Ghanaian security and defense agencies and army, of course it's for the prime interest of the Ghanaian security, the citizens, the institutions, even the democracy. But if Ghana is safe and secure, it contributes to safety and stability and security for the region. And this does not take a lot of, I would say, brain power to understand that we have a direct interest of West Africa being secure because it's just nearby. So I'm not disputing the idea that we have interest. These are shared interests. However, I dispute strongly and take strong exception the idea that we are here to rip off a country.
Right.
We are not the European Union in the business of taking or extracting raw materials from Ghana. We have none to almost none mines in Ghana. I would like to repeat it. We are not in the mining industry, or really marginally. Okay? However, we would be in the transformation, we would be interested, on the contrary, to help Ghana transform its minerals,
add
its
value.
raw materials, add value in Ghana and create jobs in Ghana. This is what I would love to do, is to even reinforce the transformation of cocoa in Ghana, for example. This is what we are trying to do. This is what we have advanced, but we can do even better, So we are not at all in a model of ripping away wealth and taking it away, and no, it's not like that.